And welcome back to ScavTalk, everyone. Today's episode, we're going to be discussing the recent Q&A from Pestilly that he put out, where he interviewed Nikita, and we got some pretty interesting answers for some upcoming content for Tarkov. Followed by that, we also got a new lore event, if you will, and an update from the Ridgey storyline. And then lastly, we'll be closing with some comments and remarks about the Infinity Warfare's DMZ mode. Today, I am joined by Abney Dude, who's filling in for GigaBeef while he's away. Thanks so much for filling in, Abney Dude. I know it's currently for you, it's 10 a.m. So.
It's not too bad. Nope. Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me back on.
Yeah, dude. Looking forward to today's cast. So, jumping right in with the Q&A with Pestilly. Wipe confirmed? Question mark.
Always, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, I don't want to start the wipe hype too soon, but it is November, so
right. Yeah. I mean, we're getting there. It's like we've had an early December wipe, and we've also had a Christmas wipe. Mm-hmm. So we're in that zone.
Yeah. We'll see how
I'm excited
how it pans out there. I don't know if I don't know. I mean, I know Pestilly said something about it, but I don't know if it was like I wouldn't hold your breath to anything if you are.
Yeah.
But the bigger story. No, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, especially with it being streets and the Lightkeeper being so mysterious over the last two wipes. I don't know. We definitely should not hold our breath.
I mean, that's exactly what I was going to lead into is Streets. Part 1 supposedly is on track for the end of the year.
Oh my. I don't even think you could say that to people these days and expect a good reaction. It's going to be like, yeah, okay.
Dude, I know, it's crazy. Can you I still love the lore behind Streets. It was like some time ago, 2017, 2018, whatever. Nikita's looking at Streets and he's like, guys, let's just start from scratch. Delete it all. Just like, dude.
I know. I heard, I didn't even know like until they started releasing screenshots that they completely remade the map. Or maybe it was one of Nice Guy's videos that they had an original Streets and then scrapped it. I was like, that was news to me. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me though, with how expansive it is.
Oh, how expensive. I was just going to say, this surprised me though, because it's BSG. No. Okay.
No.
Gotcha. Yeah. Dude, we'll see. I mean, Nikita seems, he always seems confident though. You know what I mean?
He does. Yeah. I think they're kind of in their own world. They're just doing their thing and trying to get it done.
Yeah. So, that was like the big news. A lot of the other stuff was, a lot of things that we kind of already knew about. Just to like rattle off a few here. There was like new hideout modules, co-op modes, getting some updates. What else? Possibly some skills rework, some new skills. We'll see about that. There was talk of Lighthouse Trader. At that section of the Q&A wasn't really clear to me. I mean, to be clear, the video, I mean, I'm assuming most people have seen it, but it was kind of a very informal Q&A between Pest and Nikita. And, classic Nikita-isms of, him speaking English. It's I don't really know. I mean, it sounded like the Lighthouse Trader is still in works, but he did like tease of a big feature that he will not speak of, but there's going to be some very like exclusive testing. So probably like some limited group of testers, probably like some influencers. That way it's like, it'll be an NDA, and if they break it, then it's like, well, You just lost being in our good graces.
He made it sound like it's something a game has never seen before, but he also mentioned it in the same light as like dialogue with the PMC. So
yeah,
I don't know how they're gonna fit dialogue in, like, instead of just like a menu. It's
right.
What are you gonna talk to him about? So
you just VoIP to him and it like deciphers.
Yeah, what if that's the revolutionary thing? You gotta VoIP.
Dude, imagine.
You gotta VoIP order your stuff.
Oh, dude, yes.
I can't imagine. You got it. Okay, so
you got to speak in Russian.
Yeah, that's how extreme they would do it. So, thinking of the lighthouse keeper and where he'd be located, how would the player, like, the things that he has have to be so good for them to risk going down that peninsula and getting trapped on there, like getting trapped next to the lighthouse, unless there's an extract over there, or unless you can order it to your actual stash. That's a risky move, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's the only, I mean, like, I don't know, man, because like, if, let's say, like, major hopium to be precise, let's say Streets is a thing, right? It's actually coming. Let's say the Lightkeeper's a thing, it's actually coming. They could do some crazy things where, you know, a lot of the good gear is on the Lightkeeper. So if you want to go to Streets, and again, if, like, you know, Streets is a thing and it's, you know, going to be a thing, if you want to go to Labs, you got to go to Streets. So like, if you want the good gear to like duke it out on Streets / Labs, then you got to go the Lighthouse first, and then you got to go to the Trader, and then, you know, I don't know. I mean, they could like put the GLs on him, which that was the other quick thing, is the underbarrel grenade launcher's coming as well. The attachment,
right?
Again,
right.
Phase 2.
Yeah, they love instant kill items. They really do. I think, like, what if he like sold like black market items, like the things that can't hit the flea market? What if that was a thing?
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
That seems pretty fair to me.
Oh man, the cheesers would really love that.
What? I mean, a lot of the stuff is already on the traders though that can't be sold on the flea. So like,
oh yeah, fair. All they'd have to do is do the quests.
Yeah, you're like, well, I guess, I mean, maybe that could be interesting. What if like day one of the wipe, you could just like, you know, take a military hose, the Lightkeeper, and exchange it for a slick? Like, wouldn't that be wild?
Yeah. Like some, like, you know, you can't ever sell slicks though right now. So like, what if he was able to sell it? And I don't know. That they're gonna have to have something really nice for people to actually use that dude.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, yeah, I mean, he could, but then, I mean, this is like some giga theory crafting meta gaming shit going on, but, you know, potentially he could be pretty valuable at the start of a wipe if you don't want to do a lot of progression stuff, but you want to like get the really high end stuff.
Yeah,
you could risk it for that. He's probably just gonna sell like a beat up AK. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, it's gonna be some crap items, but I'm sure he'll have some sort of quest line tied to him. You'd hope.
Yeah.
After all this time, you'd hope.
That's true.
And what if the only way to communicate and like turn in those quests are like going to him?
That'd be wild.
That'd be interesting.
Oh man, dude. Like, there's so much potential for in-raid Trader just to like shake up things. I mean, it seems like they want to do that for all the traders, so this will like be the really big first test of that, if you will. And
I thought they were definitely testing it when they did Santa Claus, like him running around. I thought that was such a cool event as well. So I feel like that was somewhat of a test for that AI, even though it was kind of derpy It's like just sitting in corners and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm pretty impressed they want to do. I mean, I'm glad they're doing lip syncing animations and stuff. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I dig that. But I'm sure that's not easy whatsoever.
No.
But I can only imagine what kind of system we're gonna come up with. I mean, I would think, it's gonna be some type of like, UI that pops up and you classic choose one to say this line, choose three to say this line,
Yep.
We'll see.
Giving
man.
you quests, bartering, all that stuff. Huh. And just the fact that it's like something new, something totally different that Tarkov hasn't seen before. I think that's going to bring people back just to check it out in general. If it's that plus streets, it could potentially be a really big wipe. So I'm excited as a creator. If the game you're creating for is popping off, it's a lot of fun. So
yeah. What else? So yeah, we talked about that. New guns, new boss. Arena is still work in progress. He was saying they're like trying to finish up some new game mode. I think like it sounded like the foundation was done, but they want to like expand it all out, get it to like their quality. They want to have like the crowd react to like kills and such, and the scoreboard and all this stuff. Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? The whole like Coliseum style with the scavs up there cheering everything on. Like, it's kind of like, to me at first I was like, seems kind of off-putting because you're playing this such scary game. When it's a new game to you, it's like really intense and freaky, and now you're kind of pulled into this other setting where people are cheering on your fights, like, and there's a scoreboard and stuff. I mean, I want to know how they're gonna tie that in and make that feel immersive.
I don't know. I mean, it could be. I mean, it could be something like Stalker, of like the arena there.
I know that. Well, the thing is, they get a lot of ideas from Stalker. So I was like, when you were doing it, and I was like, you know what, this is probably what they were trying to emulate, is like a better version of this.
Yeah,
because there was like little guys up in those windows.
Yeah,
what if it's exactly that? What if it's just that square room? Good taters.
Just straight up ripped assets and everything.
Man.
I mean, I don't know, because like, I'm sure they want to make it like immersive and realistic as possible. So like, death probably is gonna be punishing somehow, but to what extent, I don't know.
Right.
Or maybe it's not. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like you should be able to pop right in another one, but it's like, how are they going to balance the loot? How are they going to balance what you could bring in? Is it going to be value based? Is it going to be like select a certain amount? Like, maybe you'll do certain loadouts, like presets. I don't know. They can go a lot of different ways with it, but what I'm most interested in is like however the gameplay ends up being, it's like, how does that interact with the main game? What do I get to take back to the stash?
Yeah, for sure.
Because that could be interesting.
Big question marks there on that.
Yep. I'm part of the, I don't even know what they call that program. The like the extra beta, like the ETS.
Yeah.
I mean, I have never done it because they don't communicate anything about it, but I have no idea. It's NDA stuff, so it's not like I could say anything, but I've never gotten communication about. So I hope to get to test it soon.
Yeah. Very curious about that game mode. It could be like such a nice alternative mode for like, you still want to play Tarkov, but like,
right,
you don't just want to like load into another interchange raid and run from one side of the map to the other side.
and load the game for 5 minutes and match for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Get your kit for 5 minutes. Yeah. Just jump right in and start shooting.
That'd be nice. Nice.
I think it'd be a great way for new players to really get a hang of the combat too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Watch there be a whole skill-based matchmaking thing around Arena. Like COD, everybody freaking out.
And they could do it.
Yeah. I mean, they probably should with the amount of sweats there are in this game. But
I'm going to play Arena. I'm going to learn how to freaking PMC, just like zoom and jump in.
What if strength? Wait, how are they going to do that? Like, what if there's a level like 70 max strength guy and a little Timmy in there? How are they going to balance that?
I'm telling you, man, I have no clue. There's so many questions on Arena. It's not even funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like, what are they going to just make everybody the same strength level? Because then you're going to swap back and forth through the game modes, and it's going to feel, your PMC is going to feel different. Because, no strength compared to max strength feels very, very different, and endurance.
Can you imagine, like, I can't jump up on top of this sandbag. I don't have level 37 strength, dude. This guy can. That's so annoying. Like,
Oh my gosh, yeah. Maybe mantling. Maybe what if they bring in like that new mantling system that they've always been talking about? That'd be sick.
That would be sick, dude. I played this mobile game, for those that don't know.
I watched that.
And it's kind of a shit game. It is a shit game, but for a mobile game, it's pretty good. But it's a shit PC game because it's basically a mobile game. But anyways, it's basically a Tarkov clone. But they had like some, features that Tarkov doesn't have yet, like mantling and like armor plates, etc. And dude, it was like the mantling, like, oh my god, it just was like, I need this in Tarkov so badly. It just like made traversing the map so much better. Like there's literally like, a woods map, but it's like called Mount Hakiyama or some bullshit. I don't know, but it's like there's a mountain in there.
Forest.
That's hilarious. Scuffman. The boss is like Scuffman, says Sturman.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But now I just want to make jokes about that.
The only reason I heard of that game was I saw you play it, and I was like, what is he playing? And I was like, oh shit, this kind of looks fun. And then I saw the UI, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it's.
I will admit I downloaded it and tried it for 10 minutes. Yeah, I tried it for 10 minutes after seeing you play it, but then the UI, dude, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's rough.
So weird.
Did you download on your mobile or your PC?
No, I don't play mobile games. I did PC, so probably got some sort of virus from that at least. Man, it does look interesting though. They did some cool stuff where it's like, I think it was a time-based wipe, so it was all dependent on like players doing something, right?
Yeah, that was really dope. I love that. Like that's
crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's literally like a Tarkov clone.
Oh yeah,
but it's like some of the stuff they did there was like, damn, dude, just like, oh, I wish. I just like, I can't wait for some of the stuff to get caught up, if you will.
Yeah, but, and basically it was like, it boils down to how many people are playing that wipe. So it's like once the community stops playing, then it wipes, and then it maybe brings them back in. I don't know. Yeah, pretty cool. I don't know how you time a dev cycle around that though. That sounds horrible.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because BSG's. It's like they're a live service game in the sense.
Yeah, definitely.
But they're also like actively still trying to finish the game. Like usually live service games are like 90% done. You know what I mean?
We say that, but look at some of these past 2 years. 2042.
Yeah.
And
did you play
the
that?
CODs. I downloaded it for like I think okay. So the first I downloaded it for the beta. I pre-ordered. I was like, gonna love Battlefield no matter what it is. Played the beta, took it back on Steam.
Damn.
So then about a year later, once it was like $20, I downloaded it again, and I was like, this still sucks, and I took it back again. So I'm just waiting for that right sale, and I might keep it. So
that's rough, dude. Dude, yeah. How have you? I'm about to look up Steam charts right now, dude.
Last I checked, it was like 2,000 people.
Oh, like,
but did you notice that? Or I don't know if you saw any of it. The YouTubers I watched were like covering how Battlefield 1 had a huge resurgence because of the $5 sale. They had like 50,000 concurrent on Steam, and then who knows what the origin numbers were for Battlefield 1. That's bonkers.
Yeah, but I feel like that's skewed though because there's a lot of like nostalgia there too as well. You know,
they were saying that something had to do. Well, first of all, the quality of the game is just so much better than what's been produced lately. Like just graphics and everything.
Wait, I'm thinking of a different Battlefield 1. I'm thinking of
the World War I Battlefield.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of like the OG Battlefield.
Oh, 1. No. Yeah, the one that they just did a totally different naming convention on. Yeah, the World War I was like super high quality, like audio, visual, everything. It was just such a good game.
I see that.
It just kind of threw a lot of people off.
It's literally like it's peaked actually. It's peaking right now at 50K.
Right now it's peaking?
Yeah.
Dang. Well, apparently there's also like a Netflix World War I like TV series out right now or movie or something. So
I think
that was another reason.
I heard, I need to watch that. I heard that's a good one.
Yeah. So I'm curious how the people at DICE are taking that their 5-year, 6-year-old game is doing 10 times better than their new one.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about that, dude. That's a rough one. I mean, like, dude, it's at the point where like it's a downward trend. They're at like 5,000, 6,000 concurrent players. Like once that it's like 1,000, 2,000, time to start discussing closing down servers. You know what I mean? Dude, like we have a serious discussion. Like, hey, man, we got all these servers and only like 5% of them are getting used. You know, we gotta start cutting some here.
You gotta wonder though, what were these dudes thinking? Like, did they not see the futuristic CODs hit the shelf? Like, did they not see how bad that the community took it? Or maybe it did fine. I don't know. But I always hated the futuristic CODs. Like, those were the ones I absolutely didn't play.
Hey, and that's what's wild to me. Because what was that first one that they did? Advanced Warfare, right?
Yeah.
And people did not like that. Yeah, dude, people hated
the jetpack stuff, wall running, all that stuff. I was like, what are we playing? Titanfall? It's like, yeah. I remember that whole debate. Like, oh, boots on the ground. That's the next COD. It's like, oh, man.
And this game died hard. I mean,
which one?
Advanced Warfare. It died hard.
Yeah.
I mean, they all die after like a year ish. Now, not so much anymore because they're doing the whole like live service model. But
yeah.
Dude, that's like that game died real quick, dude. And this is the thing that like blows my mind is it's like people always like gripe and complain about like if we're going on another topic, but whatever, I don't care. People always gripe and complain like, oh, it's the same recycled garbage, and then they do something new, and then they're like, ew, what is this garbage? You know, give me the old stuff. And it's like,
yeah.
Guys, come on, like.
So you gotta take it like this. It's like the same people that are complaining about shit maps on this COD and shit maps on the last COD, those people could be opposite groups, you know? And it's like the people that like the old style may not be the people that like the new style. So like the complaints, they're all coming at these devs on an even scale because it's the internet. But it could be like 50 of these people that like the old style and 50 of the people like the new style. So it's so hard to gauge what the community actually wants. They'd have to actually like, I'm sure they actually have statistics on the back end of like, you know, how happy the community is for certain things. But there's always going to be the complainers about new maps and new styles of gameplay. I don't know if you've ever been a part of the Siege community, but that is the weirdest community for getting new maps, because they'll make a new map and nobody will vote to play it. So nobody gets to play the new map for like a whole season. It's like, what is it? It's like people don't even want the new content. So it's like every community is a little different, but you know, it's usually you're hearing the vocal minority when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just weird, man, because I heard, so I didn't play that. I mean, I haven't played CODs in a minute, but a buddy did tell me like that he actually liked the Advanced Warfare because it was different, you know? And I think too, what they were trying to do maybe is cash in or try to, maybe they thought there's gonna be a trend for that type of like setting because Titanfall came out around that time.
Okay, was it the same timing as Titanfall?
Just about, yeah. I'm about to confirm it right now on Wikipedia.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, what came out at the same time?
Yeah, so Titanfall 1 came out in March 2014. Advanced Warfare came out in, I mean, it could just be coincidence, but it came out November 4th, 2014. So like, not too far. There's it could be like coincidence. It's hard to say. That you'd have to like really like pull out the timelines for like trailers and, you know, gaming conventions and whatnot. But nonetheless,
yeah, Titanfall was kind of sick too, honestly.
Yeah, back then it was pretty sick because it was new. I mean, I didn't get into it. I really didn't think it was gonna be for me. At that time, but yeah,
it died pretty fast, but there's still like a hardcore community.
Oh yeah. Especially when Titanfall 2 came out. I know that's like the really big, the big one. Which I got to play the campaign recently. That was fun.
Okay, so everybody always like says you gotta play the campaign. I never played it. I never really played it, and was it worth?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like
okay.
I really want a move it shooter to be like the thing again, man. I just like, I know like we have Apex Legends, which is like kind of it. Like the Titanfall community hates Apex Legends, dude, because it's like,
the TTK. It's got to be that the shields and stuff.
It's, I think it's more along the lines as like this is like a neutered Titanfall thing, and it's like a battle royale thing, like. Titanfall 2 was like I mean, it's basically just like team deathmatch. Like there's some variation on modes, but it is like the movement stuff in that game, dude, is just like bonkers, man.
The wall running stuff was wild how they implemented it.
Yeah,
it's cool.
And Apex doesn't have that type of stuff. It's got like, I mean, you like
one character, right?
I don't even think they have a character that can do it. Like you can. It's been a while since I played Apex, but you can like jump off walls and you can like climb up walls, and there's a couple different like movement bugs that you can abuse. I mean, that game is like, it's based off the Source engine, and the Source engine just has like.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So Titanfall had like every pilot had grapple, wall running, all that stuff, right? So yeah, anybody who's going from like a hardcore Titanfall fan to that, it'd be like, it's like the movement's completely different. So
yeah, I mean,
and the time to kill was so fast in Titanfall.
Yeah. It's Yeah, so that's like the closest like mainstream thing we have to like a movement shooter, and like I said, a lot of the movement is like these broken mechanics that like help a little bit, um, this and that. But anyways, I would just love to play another movement shooter because playing Titanfall 2, man, dude, the movement was just like, oh, it just was like it was so good. So yeah, I definitely recommend that game. Buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. It's like $30. It's just grab
Yeah, I
it.
own it actually from one of the sales.
Oh yeah, you gotta play it, man. Pick a day, give it a whirl. You'll love it. Story's good, movement's great. It's all good.
Yeah, I got to try it out. It's 700 people on Steam right now, but I know tons of people bought it on Origin before that. So pretty cool for an old game to have a community like that.
Yeah, from what I saw, there's still they're like I don't think they support it anymore, but like EA, but the community supports it. They got their own servers and such. But if you want to try out multiplayer, but anywho, jumping back to God, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, mobile Tarkov. That's what I was gonna say.
Yes.
Mounting. God, dude, yeah. The freaking mounting. Oh man, dude, I can't wait till Tarkov gets that because like the like I said, the Scuff Forest map. there was a mountain in the center that was basically like kind of like the mountain in the center of woods, and the rocks and geometry was like kind of similar shaped. You know what I mean? Like it's really rough. It's low poly count, so you get that same feel like Tarkov. Like some of the shapes are kind of like rough, but it just was like you didn't have to sit there like spamming space and like jumping and like, well, I jumped and I didn't hold forward far enough, so I'm just like I did like a weird little like bunny hop where I floated in the air and landed like 1 feet in front of me. It's just like
and your guy running out of stamina every 5 seconds, every jump you take. Breathing hard.
Yeah, it's because you're constantly trying to do like the skill check jump.
Dude, just imagine. The thing is, they have to prepare every single map for the mantling because, like, how are people gonna take advantage of the system and climb up things they're not supposed to? So they're having to manually probably like do those mantle zones on all like geometry on the map. So I could imagine all the I don't know if you remember, I had like a shortcuts video. All that stuff would go away. Oh, okay, yeah. So all that stuff goes away. You just have people climbing over everything, climbing on top of stuff. I can't wait for that, to be honest. That's gonna be sick. It's gonna change the gameplay.
I say don't even test it. Just implement it. Let us test it. I want to break the game, dude, when that goes. I want to be like mantling on top of Big Red, like finding some exploit,
Yeah,
I want to be mantling on top of a sniper tower.
Yeah, the smokestacks over like the tower. Yeah. Dude, imagine that. Imagine if the ladders worked and stuff and you could climb up there and oh no, we got a player up on the sniper tower. Dude.
Is that sniper scav again? Like, wait a minute. Is that a PM? Boom.
Yeah.
Just die.
Oh my gosh. More dynamic gameplay. We need it.
Yep.
Let the community make this game and see what comes out of it.
Well, there's an alternate timeline where that could happen, dude.
I know.
If BSG ever just like drops this game for whatever reason, I guarantee you the modding community would just like jump on it, man. They would just be like, someone there's gonna take up the mantle. I know it.
Yeah. Can you imagine if this is a modded experience? Oh man. Because so I've never even like dipped into the single player Tarkov, but I know they like reverted a bunch of the recoil over there. I've never even seen videos of it, to be honest, but I know they have like fake PMCs and they reverted recoil and they made like there's another guy who does Kirsch guns. Bien Baku or something, and I think he does single player Tarkov to do all that crazy modding. But yeah, that's the only single player Tarkov experience I've watched, at least.
Yeah, he's such a
modders.
anomaly to me because he's just done that's like his content exclusively, and it's like,
Yeah.
but it's so cool and interesting. Like he's got like just like this curse looking gun, and it's like, yeah, that's so cool to me. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I didn't even know who he was until I started making curse guns, and then he popped in on one of my videos and commented, and I was like,
Oh,
he was like, curse guns enjoyer, and I was like, oh, who is this? And just like tons of curse gun videos. I was like, well, damn, these are actually curse. I have to work within the bounds of the game, but
yeah,
single player Tarkov, you could attach anything to any item, you know?
Yeah.
I wonder though, like, I know BSG has banned some single player Tarkov YouTubers. So
that's the thing.
How does he get away with it?
I don't like, that's what I mean. He's such an anomaly because like, I think he does it he must know the limits of what he can push or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Or they don't know about him yet. But he's at like, I think he's at like 30K.
Yeah, they got like 30K. He gets a lot of views on some of his videos, dude. Some of them have like crap ton.
Yeah, he's double my size, and like all his videos are cursed. So someone's got to have seen it by now.
I mean, you show me a freaking Saiga shotgun with a Geo mag attached to it, and a shovel for a buttstock or something. I'm like, okay, I gotta click on that.
Yeah. Man, I feel like they used to have a little bit more freedom with curse guns and regular Tarkov. I felt like you could do like rails on top of rails before, but maybe that was just me because I think they stopped a lot of that early on. But I'm not sure. I thought there was always some wacky ways to stack different mounts and stuff, but maybe I'm remembering wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I really haven't done too much cursed guns myself. I know you're a cursed guns enjoyer. I saw your stubby G36. Like, oh god, dude.
Oh god.
I already know how bad the normal one is. I can only imagine.
It was so painful. Oh god. Yeah, that was a fun video, but it's just like the curse guns, you got to time it right with the wipe, and I think this wipe just died so fast. It's like, I don't think I can do curse guns this wipe. Why? I got like 2,000 views. It's like,
I see. As far as
they're a lot of effort.
Yeah, I get you.
A lot of effort for only 2,000 views. It's like, Tarkov in general has been weird for me this wipe. Like,
yeah.
I had a very, very busy like early wipe, and I couldn't put a ton of content out. But I think by the time I could get content out, the viewership was so much lower. So, yeah. I mean, I understand that. This wipe was totally the same as last wipe. They added an expansion to a map that nobody played, and no light keeper, and like 2 guns. That is like, okay, why would they come back to this wipe? Next wipe though, we're in for it.
Yeah. What's crazy too is because like all my buddies, the first like 2 months they skipped out.
Yeah.
But then they came back, and now they're all playing COD.
Oh, they're all COD.
Yeah. Which,
oh man,
most of them anyways. I think one guy he also skipped out the first couple of months, but then like, I don't know, dude. Once he gets into Tarkov, he's like into it, like hardcore. Like, he's a maniac.
I think that's natural. I think if you're not creating content, it's natural to like grind it hardcore and then just completely drop it for several months.
Yeah.
Like my buddies all played at the beginning of the wipe, and they usually like they're kind of burnt on it, and they die off about, I think, like 25, 30, level 25 or 30. So
yeah, it just kind of depends. Like, I think because this wipe was so lackluster, and there's new games coming out, usually most of them stay through and through the whole wipe. They really get into the whole squad and PvP high level stuff. But like I said, this time was a little different, And so
Yeah. Some certain, I mean, you definitely still see huge groups, but yeah, this wipe you haven't seen as many. I don't think. It's been more like, I'm trying to think back towards the beginning of the wipe, and it stayed. I felt like it stayed populated at least 2 months, and then after that, what I usually base it off of, which is a terrible way to base it, but the market, like you could really tell in the flea market when things aren't on. Like if there's not people selling certain items that are just really common, it's like, wait, is this game dead right now? It's like just super basic items aren't even on the market. So that's how you know. You know those loot goblins will be playing if it's popular at the time.
That's a good point. Like those like obscure items that are like really common but like not in high demands.
Yeah, like propane tanks or something. It's like, wait, no, people aren't taking those out right now.
Yeah.
Or something that's used for a barter.
Right. Or like some like early hideout upgrades. Yeah, I could see that for sure. Yeah.
But have you messed around with DMZ at all, or not DMZ, but COD in general, Modern Warfare 2?
No, I mean that's kind of like the good and bad about COD is you know exactly what you're getting,
Right.
But I thought about it and I kind of just passed because I'm more interested in the DMZ, which is going to be free. So didn't really see a point. I'll just play some other games until then.
Yep, I feel you. I did I played the beta just a little bit, and I was like, I think I'm gonna wait. I think I'm gonna wait till DMZ to actually get into this, because in my eyes, it was like, it felt like every other COD, to be honest, and I actually really didn't like the visual recoil. Like they had a lot of like, it really reminded me of kind of like some of the Tarkov guns with that visual shake.
A little bit, yeah.
I was like, please, no more of this.
Yeah, because actually I did play the beta, didn't I? I seem to remember playing it. God, did I play it? I don't even know, dude. I can't tell if I have memories of playing it or if I have memories of me editing footage of it. I can't tell which is which. But I seem to remember.
I played that game. Oh, wait.
I really can't remember confidently, dude. It's like, is that an implanted memory from the video editing dungeon? I don't know.
Maybe you just watched a video of it on YouTube and you think you played it.
Maybe, dude.
Yeah, I got to level 50. Oh, God.
Dude, I really don't know, but it's crazy.
It's kind of like for me, because I played only about 2 matches. It's like, yeah, I think I'll pass on this for now.
That's probably what happened to me. Or maybe I played like towards the end when it was ending. I think I did play it. Yeah, I definitely did. I'm pretty positive. I'm gonna huff my copium and say I played it, but
just go to your Steam and look at your download history.
True.
Then you'll know for sure.
It's got to be there, but regardless. I was gonna ask you, did you see? Do you know Shooterville? You know that guy? Yeah. He's a shitter, but he makes shorts on YouTube. And he had a short I saw recently that was comparing the recoils between COD and Tarkov. It was just like,
oh, interesting.
It hurt my soul, dude. Like the stock AK on COD is just like, it's got recoil to it. Yeah. And then the stock AK on Tarkov is like just like goes all the way up. Like, no.
Bro, don't bring up recoil. You're gonna make me sad. You're gonna make me sad. Man. I wish they did like a poll for the community to see like who likes this recoil and who doesn't. I said it on stream last night when you were in there, but it's just like really, I don't mind hard recoil, but if it was like a normal game where you can actually control it and not like get all weird camera angles with your scopes and stuff like that, I don't mind hard recoil. What I mind is the fact that there's no variation in gameplay these days. It's like, why play with guns that are like, they feel like shit for the first 5 shots,
Yeah.
I just like that there used to be versatility. You could use almost anything, and get away with it. MP5s with shit ammo is still like a laser beam because it's such a low caliber weapon. So
I think they should go back to that. I think that was a better. Just like let's not worry about guns being too laser beamy for now. Let's just accept that guns are really good when you shoot them, and bullets when they hit your head hurt really bad. So let's just that's kind of like the great equalizer, right? So I think that was a much better place, because now it's in such a weird place where it's like you basically have to be in the S tier category to like feel like you have a fighting chance,
Yep. You need get a stock Scar L and it feels better than a fully modded M4, because they implement recoil so differently on every gun.
Yeah, and to your point, it's like you gotta take, like previously it felt like you could be a little bit more loose with your choices, but now it feels like you have to take every possible advantage when it comes to like choosing your weapon and building it to have like a fighting chance of actually like hitting your target.
And like, okay, so I will give a positive that's came out of these recoil changes is that semi-auto has become like extremely popular with like the SR25s and RSAS and all that. Like I feel like I didn't see them as much, more like the M1As back then, but I feel like those got really popular. Then BSG nerfed it when they got rid of the SR25s from the market. But yeah, so that's kind of a positive from it, but it's still the 7.62 meta regardless. So that's not fun.
Yeah.
At least like the thing is, okay, so we now have new projectile or trajectory model for the game. So like, even if 5.56 is a laser beam, that round kind of sucks. So it's kind of balanced in a way where now you're not going to be, because I don't know if you remember, you could just take an 8R in and beam people from 200 meters out and get the headshot. Now I think that would be a deflection with the damage drop off.
Or 200 meters. You might, depending on what round you're using, you might not be able to kill them in the head with the first shot anyways.
Yeah. So I feel like with that new trajectory stuff, if guns felt good again, it would be very interesting gameplay.
Yeah, it would be nice. I
try not to bring it up much.
It's such a like it's just like
a broken record.
Well, not only that, but it's also just like so depressing to talk about it, man. It's just like,
have you ever watched do you have old clips from back then, or have you watched old footage?
Yeah, I've seen plenty of old footage. Yeah, it's just, it's a different game, because even if you go like, because that was also pre-inertia too, right? So it's just the game looks like foreign, dude. It looks so different.
Dude, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. It's like the back of my house is like, I can't get this lighting right. It's so bad.
I look around 1 second, you're like in a dark cave, and the next second it's like God's behind you and this light is just bursting.
Dude, look at my hand. Shit. Oh wait, it's gone. Wait, no, it's not. Not on this side. Dude, it's awful. I can't get the lighting right.
Oh, it's all good.
Sorry guys if I'm glowing, and sometimes I'm in pitch black. Oh God.
All right. So jumping back, that was I think that's pretty much everything that sums up the frickin' what's it called? Q&A.
Yeah.
Just trying to make sure I didn't miss anything major. Yep. So we'll see what comes up. I mean, dude, please give me something exciting.
Anything. We're dry. We're dry.
I'll take it, dude. Wiper.
I feel
not.
like a little.
Well,
I feel like a little hamster at one of those little little water things.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like. Just trying to get a little drip of content. Oh god.
You're just never mind. I won't do that to you. I was about to make this a really awkward podcast.
Knowing you, I could only imagine.
But
looking at the battle state. Oh god.
Moving on, the Rizzy storyline got expanded a bit. There was a video BSG put out where Rizzy's talking to Mechanic, and then Santar's involved, and we got the event with Santar on customs. Which I don't know. I guess you didn't really get to participate because you're trying to do Shooterborn.
Yeah, not that I even want to participate.
Poor
that
guy.
sounds like hell. Shooterborn, bro.
Sitting on Lighthouse, all the players are on custom. It's like completely
true. Had some good ones though, for sure.
That's good. But you know what's fun?
What?
I was gonna say about things when they do stuff like this is like it kind of makes loot runs like really good for other maps. It's like everyone's on customs fighting. Meanwhile, me on interchange, just like I'll grab that, I'll grab this. Ooh, GPU.
My god.
You know?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like when there's events on certain maps, it's like the other ones are just kind of dead.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I say that, but I had some crazy raids last night still. It's just hard to say like what type of players on those other maps, like people that are questing pretty much, you know, staying out of the sticky stuff.
Which makes sense, yeah. I mean, plus she would like the matchmaking still works, so like you would still get players, you know, unless you got like a really, really long queue, then maybe it would like all right, you're going in solo, you know, it's been 10 minutes, we're sending you in solo. I don't know how that works, but
you used to get that, like, or I feel like you used to get that more, but I don't think I've had an actual dead lobby in years.
Yeah,
because you only need to populate 15 people, right? So it's like if you can't get that,
and I think there's a minimum too. I mean,
most likely.
I've heard Pestilli talked about this way back in the day, and like, you know, because he's over in Aussie land, so there's a lot less players. So like he like before Tarkov blew up, he would go like shoreline and be the only player on the map almost every time.
Oh my gosh.
So he would just loot like crazy, right? So
well, he was probably the only person in Australia that had a computer that could run it. Because I don't know if you know about Shoreline, but when it came out, it felt like Lighthouse does, except worse.
Yeah, I didn't know
it was
that.
So bad.
Dang, dude.
Every map they release literally feels like cheeks. So
can't wait for streets.
Dude, the detail in that map just from what they've showed. What do you think they do to optimize it? I'm not a game dev. I don't know anything about that, but what do they even change to optimize it?
I mean, the thing that I'm most familiar with, and I think the most like common answer to that question is, I think it's called culling, where when your camera, if you will, is not in view, like you aren't supposed to be able to see this thing. Like, let's say you're inside I think the best example is probably Reserve. Let's say you're inside a room. It's like, why do we need to actually render the building across from you that you can't see at all?
Right.
So I think they could do stuff like that, but I'm sure there's other stuff, but that's probably like, that'd be my answer.
Right.
And I think that's why, I think that's why Lighthouse has so many issues, because there's so many vantage points where you actually can't not call that stuff. Like you have to. Yeah. So
that's fair. Yeah. Cause you could really, you can see that like that. They have a lot of issues with that. Actually, if you lean, like a lot of leaning issues, or if you like lean around certain doors, like objects will just disappear down the hallway, or if you're in a certain position, it'll just disappear like a whole room or building. Even like if you're on reserve in one of the it's like where the GPU drop down is. If you go to the big hole in the wall, all of the train station is invisible, and then you can see down into bunkers. That's been in the game for years. So I could only imagine how many of those issues are out there. if that's the method.
I'll have to write that down for the swipe.
Shooter board through the walls. Oh man!
Wonder if anyone has to camp in a bunker. Let me check.
let me go up and check.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Dang! I wish there was a exploit for D2 extract for that. That'd be so
Okay,
useful.
I wasn't gonna mention it, but apparently there was one where you could look through the walls at D2 by leaning into it or something. I never even saw where it was, but people did that. So, of course there is.
Of course they patched that one. Like,
yeah. I think they were using it to extract camp even harder though. I think you go deep into D2 or something like that and lean, and then you can see people coming.
So, I see.
One of those things.
Okay, I see. So it wasn't a helpful bug. In that case.
No,
because it wasn't helping me and my play style. Right. I see. Yep. Did you? Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say something funny about the event. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I was recording. I was recording some footage for my video, and I had my wife on her account because I needed some third party angles. Mm-hmm. And fucking Sanitars and Stronghold on offline too. It's like we're sitting there, we're going up to Stronghold. I was like, all right, let me get this angle, and then we get absolutely melted by Sanitar. She doesn't have her gun out because I was getting the recording without the gun, and she got melted. I got melted. I was like, why would they put this on online too or offline raids?
That's like funny.
I was like, geez, dude, so brutal when they add an event that affects the that mode as well.
Yeah, it's probably just like copy pasted or I guess the better way to say it.
I guess it is a live server, like technically for co-op.
Yeah,
right?
Like it fetches the same information, I would imagine.
Right.
Which is probably a good thing, but in your case, is probably not a good thing. Oh wait,
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I guess maybe once they add co-op features, that you might be able to expand upon co-op features. That won't be an issue anymore, which would be nice.
Right. Like custom matches and stuff like that. And I think he even said maybe even free camera. So
that would be poggers, bro.
Yes.
I love that.
I mean, there's already people taking advantage of that with single player Tarkov, and you always see it. I always wondered, like, how are these people getting these cinematic zoom ins and stuff? Right. And it's like, and then I looked into it and I was like, oh, you got to do that. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, I got to do that. It's not worth. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I think that'll be a cool community feature, and fun for creators. Much more varied in content.
For sure. Even just opening up the accessibility for people, because like I did at one point. I mean, I still technically have it. It's a really outdated version of it. Like it's still running the pre 12.12 build.
Mm-hmm.
So it has like inertia, has the old recoil system and everything.
Oh, you have single player Tarkov? Are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay.
I mean, essentially, without going into too much detail, I mean, it's whatever, but it's you essentially make a copy of the current game you have, essentially, which is just the current patch, and then they have a patch that applies over that copied version that makes it where it doesn't connect to anything.
Right.
Yeah, yada. So, and then they have mods that you install, and one of the mods is like free cam, but it was like a really scuffed free cam. Like it works, but like there's no like speed adjustment. It's just like one speed setting. So like it's kind of hard to do any like moving stuff because it's either like really fast or fast, or just so like slow mo. But
I imagine there's a lot of texture popping and stuff if you're in free cam.
Yeah, because you gotta like, what you do is you move you can fly, or you can enter free cam, and it basically disables your model. And then you fly around, and
Right.
but you're still physically. The game still thinks you're
At that
physically
old
in that
area.
area. Oh yeah, so all the like none of the buildings are rendered where you're flying to. So you gotta like teleport yourself to there, and then like you gotta make sure you don't die when you do that. So it's fun.
Yeah, that's like a debug mode on regular, you know,
Right.
like dev mode in other games. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could see that. Sorry, my dogs are barking. I don't know if you can hear those.
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, so I could imagine how buggy that would be. So they probably got to like even finesse that if they bring it into co-op mode. So
Yeah, but that's the thing with like BSG doing it now. It's like they should be able to provide a much better experience than
yeah.
what any modder or backwards compatibility stuff.
Right. Like they'll probably do it to where you can just fly around and it'll render where you are. So
Yeah.
hopefully. Next, at least in 2024, that'll probably come out. So we'll be able to make some great videos then.
Okay, so I think that's pretty much everything Tarkov related. Did you get to play any of the? Did you partake in the customs madness?
No, absolutely not. I just got slammed by Sanitar on the co-op, and that's about it. Other than that, I've just been doing the shooter board.
I was watching Airwing play, and I was like, dude, I'm really tempted to like jump on Tarkov again.
Try it out.
Yeah, I was really tempted, but I
bet it's fun.
Yeah, it looked like fun, dude. It looked like fun. I mean, it's kind of cool. Unfortunately, the reward really wasn't that great. I heard.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's like, what could they possibly give you that would be like amazing? I guess like a thick case is probably like the best thing they could do.
Yeah, give a case.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. There could be like some grand lore behind it because the items were like adobo stems and sugar, like from the Rigi video. I think it's.
Oh yeah,
I think the more important thing is that they did something, not necessarily that the reward wasn't.
Yeah.
Good or bad. Yeah. It's kind of how I'm looking at it. It would have been nice if the reward was better because, dude, that is a really hard task. The killing.
Yeah.
Him with every weapon class, including melee, like that's pretty hard. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I mean, at this point of the wipe, there's not many things you can give to people that are going to excite them. Sure. The people that are going to finish that task already have everything they need.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing, right?
You're not going to get some level 15 go in there and do that.
Right.
Melee Sanitar.
Yeah.
You kidding me? You got to have a sword or something or one of the good melees, I feel like. Yeah. That's I just wish they did more events throughout the wipe. That's really what keep people engaged, I think. So
yeah,
it's clear that people want that stuff. So
I think once they get over, these next
streets,
couple, yeah, that's kind of what I want to say. But then again, I feel like they got some more ground to cover. But
for 1.0,
yeah, I think once we get closer, if not after 1.0, hopefully we can finally start having shift more to a live service game versus like this halfway in development live service game they got going on right now.
Yeah, they could do those funky events like dehydration and all that stuff. They'll probably do stuff that affects the flea market and all that stuff. I'm excited for that phase of Tarkov. That'll be cool.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, so what do you think about the Rizzy video?
It was okay. I don't know. I didn't really.
Rizzy's annoying.
Also,
just touching everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just because he's the redhead, right? Yeah, and
I don't know. The masked guy is the redhead.
Yeah, and I think I think he's specifically masked because they don't have anyone with red hair. They didn't want to like colored hair. I think that's what they did. They're like, shit,
right.
We wrote this guy to have red hair. Who are we going to get to play him? Just wear a mask. Perfect. He's a scav. It works. That's my thing. That's my theory anyways.
They definitely embodied a scav like really well. Him just touching everything and putting his little grimy hands on everything. I was like, oh my gosh, fiddling with everything. Yeah, the video itself was like, yeah, whatever. I mean, it's just kind of like opened up to the event. With the lore stuff, it's hard for me to get into it. I'm not gonna lie.
I think they make it a little too deep, which is like,
yeah,
I think that's great for the people that are really into it, like the code breaking stuff, you know, the code people that want to, like, you know, Sun Tzu soon freaking pull up the whiteboard and get the red dots and connect the lines. But, you know, for us smooth brainers, I think it's just a little too deep. Like, even this one, I was just like, okay, this feels like it feels like it didn't really advance the plot any. It was just like filler line, you know, filler segment.
Yeah.
Richie goes talks to mechanic and Sanitar's involved. Ooh, lore.
Yeah, there was. That's how I feel with most of the lore. Yeah. It's just like, okay, and how is this going to be plugged into anything? Right. So does 1.0 come out and all this stuff behind 1.0 is not even included, or is this content that's going to be in 1.0, you know, or does it not have anything to do with it? I don't know.
It's probably what it is this is going to be, you know, a callback episode after, you know, once they get to like episode 7, there's going to be a callback in episode 7. It's like, remember when Rizzy went to mechanic when the Sanitar event happened, which now ties into these current events, and Rizzy had a baby with, you know, I mean, it's going to be like some weird like callback thing. It's like, oh, it all makes sense now.
And then 75% of the player base won't even know what we're talking about because it's not in the game. It's on social media and YouTube and oh god, all the stuff that's like, I just wish they had when they do events like this, if it was just in game and not on their website and on their launcher.
They just need to launch their own social media platform.
Yeah.
It's escapefromtwitter.com.
Oh god.
It's Tarkov but Twitter.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, they do enough outside of the game that they could probably work. They literally have stuff on their website. They have stuff like YouTube videos. It's such a disconnected, like even like things that are vital to the player's experience, like the dehydration thing wasn't even said in game.
Right.
It was on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, how you gonna not tell half your player base that's not on Twitter that you're gonna have a shitty experience this next couple of weeks?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
They could totally do like some type of in-game like social media system, if you will. Like you don't want it to be too cheesy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it can't be too like
GTA pull up a phone.
Yeah, like, or like, you know what I mean? Like don't be like, make it like too cringy, you know what I mean? Like, so guys, what's up? I'm just streaming in my hideout, you know, to all my, you know, don't make it like some like VR, like don't get too crazy. But.
No. Honestly, they could just do a messaging system and get some sort of system message or like global message, like, guys, there's been warnings about a heat wave coming, you know, make sure you stock up on water, or, you know, anything. Like, it's something just to tell people in game that they're actually about to hit an event rather than have to rely on YouTube videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know that's what Nikita likes, is the community talking. Maybe that's their method, is to get hype around the game. That's the only way to find out. But a little bit of knowledge wouldn't hurt the player experience.
I think so.
One day.
So, I think that's all the Tarkov news. Now, did you get to watch There's been a lot of talk about DMZ recently from the Tarkov community, dude. I'm just like, holy shit, man, dude. Tarkov Twitter over the last couple of days has just been like,
oh man. And you've been editing for DMZ stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah. Right? Yep, editing DMZ stuff. We just put out a video not very recently with like our thoughts on the subject matter. I mean, everyone's pretty much done in the Tarkov. This is what's like interesting is like there's a lot of like the people that I see covering the DMZ stuff. Like there's some COD people as well, but there's a lot of Tarkov people covering it.
Yeah,
which maybe that's probably not accurate because I'm only seeing what I'm seeing.
Right.
I've seen everything, but anywho, I mean, obviously there's interest in it because I think a lot of the people caught wind of DMZ and based off the logo, they're like, oh, it's Tarkov and like, you know, Infinity Ward's like, it's an attraction thing. People are like, oh, they're doing a Tarkov mode, you know, and blah, blah, blah. So like, it makes sense that there's interest in it and whatnot. Which speaking of which, I gotta ask, since you brought up earlier, did you play the Battlefield 2042 extraction thing or whatever it was?
Absolutely not. Not a chance.
Okay.
No,
because you didn't give it a go.
No, I didn't even try it, dude. Because, well, first of all, you had to buy the game to play it. So
okay,
I guess do that.
That makes it difficult.
Yeah, if I owned it, yeah, sure, I'd try it. But yeah, they definitely did not nail it. The only thing you could loot was the hard drives, right?
That was my understanding. It was like, oh, they did like the most safest possible approach to it. It's like, hey guys, we're an extraction shooter now. Just go in and extract. You know what I mean? It was just like, this isn't really what people like. No one asked for this. You know what I mean? It's like some CEOs were sitting inside of a, you know, conference meeting or whatever. You know, the top dogs are like, all right, we need you to make a Tarkov mode because it's really popular, but it can't be anything like Tarkov. You know what I mean? And they're like, got it. They'll go in, they'll loot one thing, and they'll extract. It's like, perfect. You nailed it. It just was a disaster.
Yeah, and then not to mention, oh, let's add tanks. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be a great experience. I think there was like some sort of vehicle that was going around killing all the squads. It's like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Dude, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on.
No, that's all good, dude. I don't.
Looks like I'm literally in a room of white right now with a floating picture on the wall. I'm done. You guys get what you get.
It's all good, dude.
Oh man. Yeah, dude, Hazard Zone was a bust. And so for DMZ, first initial thought is like the reason so many Tarkov people are involved with it, and I think we all want advancement in the extraction shooter genre because we see the potential. Mm-hmm. And I think any kind of competition for Tarkov is really healthy. Like Tarkov needs something to get them in line. And they're keeping their top spot because nobody could even touch it, because Tarkov has a play style that is, you know, it's so hard to get into, but once you're into it, you're hooked because there's so much fear involved with it. It's so much intensity because nobody knows what the hell's going on because the game doesn't teach you anything. You don't know where to go. It's a big complaint, but it's also a big something that's very attractive about the game and gets people hooked because once you learn that stuff, you're like, oh, hell yeah, now it's starting to roll. Now I'm starting to get it. So
it's like its greatest strength and greatest weakness at the same time, right?
Yeah. And it's like the barrier to entry is so thick, but once you're in, you know?
Yeah. And part of that too is like, you've already invested 1,000 hours in the Tarkov tutorial, quote unquote. You know what I mean? That's like, are you really gonna like give that up so soon?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's
right.
Because like I've had some buddies that like some friends of friends that like tried to get into it and they played, and after like 20 hours, they were just like, this game's just not for me. You know what I mean? It's just like it's just too difficult. And, it sucks because like we want them so bad to like keep. Like you gotta trust us, man. Just like keep at it. It's just like nah, just can't, you know.
Yep. Yeah, because I think back to when I first started, and one of the biggest things at the time was like, I think I was so busy with work and stuff, is like, I can't take the time to invest into learning all these little baby items all over. Like if I think I recall back to watching Tarkov and I was like, what the hell is all this stuff in this dude's stash? Like, what am I looking at? And once you get past that, then you're identifying little baby gun parts on the most obscure shit. And you're like, wait, why do I know this knowledge? Like, why do I have this knowledge? And you become an expert gunsmith by the end of Tarkov. but no, seriously, it's like the mental load. Once you learn Tarkov, it's done. Like then you get to play the game, which is used to be a very, very good experience, you know.
So when do I get to play the video game?
Yeah, after you've learned every single gun part in the game and you know how to cheese it. No, but yeah, the mental load, like I don't know, like when you play Tarkov, there's probably not a big mental load anymore, right? It's just you do what you have to do to get into raid, and then you PvP or do whatever.
Yeah. I mean, for me currently, because I haven't played in a minute, there is like when I tried to play the Halloween event, you know, I probably haven't played in like a month or so, and I tried to jump back in, and I was just getting absolutely dumpster, dude. I was just like, how do I move my character? Okay. I felt like it was like some weird abstraction trying to like play, like some weird like, dude, that's actually crazy.
That's fair.
GigaBeef talked about this not too long ago. Now I kind of understand better what he's talking about, but you feel like you're so disconnected from it. You're so out of touch, and it's like you're out of body experience watching yourself fumble, watching yourself playing the game, you know. And it's just like weird because it's like I know at one point this was like everything was like in sync and I could easily like move my character and shoot my gun, but now everything's out of sync.
Wait, are you talking about the new inertia and stuff?
Not, I mean, like,
or not playing in a while.
More so not playing in a while, you know.
Yeah,
it's just like because there's like so much little detail. It's like, okay, like you can, you know, with the inertia, it's like if you like you press your keys in a certain way in a right timing, you know, the circle strafing, all those little details, you know what I mean? Those like random facts that like just make you a better, stronger player, you know, like even like aiming and shooting, like if you swing your gun, your crosshair moves, you know, like if you strafe, your crosshair moves, like all that stuff. You know, you play like any other shooter, like none of that stuff exists now. So it's like, it's just kind of really hard to like jump back in after taking a break and be at 100%. You know, I'm just like
Tarkov almost makes you worse at other shooters because it's so unique the way it plays, especially now with inertia. It's like it's definitely the only game that feels like that. Especially the recoil. Like, if you get good at this recoil, well, I don't know. Maybe not as much anymore because it's kind of, you can't even really control it. But I remember when I was like hooked on Tarkov, and that's like all I play. I go back to like an actual like skill shooter, competitive shooter, and like, oh my God, I can't even control recoil. Because my PMC controlled it for the last 9 months, you know.
It's weird.
But yeah. You brought up circle strafing. That's one thing that like I instantly noticed that they added this wipe was, oh, you could kind of bypass inertia by circle strafing. And I have never mentioned it, and I've never seen anybody make like videos about it, but it's something I've noticed and I've just been using, you know.
Yeah, it
feels so good.
It's pretty good. I mean, I still think inertia needs some tweaking, but that's for another.
Oh, don't even.
Yeah, it's for another day.
Yeah, you know, you tell me you don't like running on ice and stopping on ice, and yeah, it needs tuned, and really these tunings, like especially with recoil inertia, it just maybe they are tuning it and we just don't know, but it doesn't feel like it. Like we need like mid wipe tuning for some of these major like functionalities in the game, because why make players wait an entire 6 months to change certain things like that?
I think a lot of that's going to come if
1.0.
I that's based off how I've seen BSG operate. Okay, the times that they do these things, is when it's a big complaint and it's been 6 months and it's a wipe. It's like, fine, we'll address it in this wipe, and they do like a half-assed approach to it.
Yeah,
I'm so glad everyone complained about the laser recoil. I mean, I also was in that camp, but seeing BSG solution, I'm now like, no, take it back. Yeah, it's like you guys did the worst possible thing. I mean, you just like you literally made it worse. It's like
they overtuned it. Absolutely.
See, that's the thing. It's like, it's not even that overtuned it. It just didn't. They did a half-assed approach. Anyways, I don't want to get into it because it's a whole another thing. But
you guys have probably already talked about it plenty on this.
Yeah. It's like, dude, there's so many dead horses, dude. It's like a fucking graveyard back here in ScavTalk. You know what I mean, dude?
Oh God, I can imagine.
But jumping back to DMZ here, you were saying a lot of people are looking for that game, that next extraction shooter, because they can see the potential from Tarkov, and Tarkov is so hard to get into, but what you're into and hooked. And I think that a lot of companies, these big game studios, they also see the success, and they like, I think it's the PUBG effect all over again. Like, you remember when PUBG hit the market, dude? Like, everybody and their mother was freaking playing that game.
Yeah, it got huge, and they kind of, I mean, they still hold really good numbers, but I don't know what region is filling those numbers, because when you get on there, it's like, I think it's still popular in Asia, honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't think it is as popular here, but yeah, at the beginning it was everybody, because I think it was the first BR that hit widespread. Like, there was H1Z1 and there was Arma BR and stuff like that, but yeah, PUBG was the first to do it how it did it. And that people try to emulate it, and it never really hits the same as the first one. So I have never gotten to a BR as much as I did PUBG since then.
And I think some people, especially these big companies, they want to be that PUBG. Like, right now, I feel Tarkov is the sort of like Arma BR / H1Z1, but like, there's room for that big breakout hit. I mean, you could even argue that Fortnite was a bigger breakout than PUBG.
Yeah. True. Yeah. True.
I mean, Fortnite really like brought the live service thing to like the big main scene.
Yeah, so Tarkov maybe is the PUBG and brought, the category really to light, and then now a company's going to be the Fortnite and just, blow it up. Who knows? Because Tarkov really, I wouldn't even call it mainstream. I never really hit mainstream. We don't know the numbers though. Like, we'll never know the numbers. But Doc and Summit played it. But like Doc, Summit, a lot of the big streamers played it. But they never stay on it, It's always like phases within their channels.
That's the thing, right? Which, I mean, they kind of, that's their thing, right? They rotate. Yeah. They rotate stuff. So yeah, understandably so. But I do think there is interest. I see comments all the times in people's chats. It's like, I rather just watch you play than even like play this game, and it's a pretty good watching experience. You have the times of, it has a mix of like low intensity, high intensity, downtime, uptime. It's great. I think it's great.
It's a good stream game. Yeah. Because even during the downtimes, you can chat with people, and like, you can just chill in a building. There's not a BR rushing you, like a circle coming, pushing you to the extraction or anything like that. So it's an interesting flow. And you could play it as fast as you want or as slow as you want. So, yeah.
Yeah. You brought up, the BR stuff again. And it's like, dude, remember when Shroud was streaming PUBG? Like, his freaking sub feed was just nonstop. I think he had to turn it off because he was nonstop getting subs during that.
Oh, phase. I bet. Yeah. But maybe I feel like there can be a way that a game, so the details that Tarkov have are so incredible. Like,
Right.
especially I feel like the interiors really shine in this game.
Yeah.
Whereas like the foliage and some of that, the outside artwork needs to work. Like, it doesn't look as good as some modern games. But when you go into like interiors, the details, the little items on the ground, it feels like a lived in, location. And and to get that takes a lot of time, I feel like, and a lot of work. So I don't know if a game will come out anytime soon that has that kind of detail, but if they really tweak the gameplay to where like they merge some of these extraction shooters into one, like I think a really, really good experience for the Cycle Frontier is the instant drops. Like, I don't want to bring too many games into this, but like you get the instant drops where you're brought into the game immediately, and you don't have to wait a 5-minute queue. You don't have to like, there's not a lot of downtime in between raids.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like, if you, I don't know about Tarkov and the map to map travel, but like that game is just a full map. So that's going to be more like DMZ. So we got DMZ where it's the entire Warzone map, but everybody starts at once, right? Am I right about that?
Yeah.
For DMZ. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. You might be right. Like Tarkov might be the PUBG, and something might come out that hits big, but I don't think it's going to be DMZ.
Yeah, I mean, it could. I don't know. I think COD / Infinity Ward is pretty smart in their approach to it. But so let's get into some details for it. So did you watch the 2-hour, 4-hour preview event thing that they did or whatever?
I did, yeah. So I watched I mainly watched Lupo, and I watched a couple recaps. So I think I watched One Peg and maybe Nice Guy or something like that. And I think it's gonna be a perfect game mode for people that want an extraction shooter but are more like COD oriented or more fast paced oriented. Like, I think it will be good for those people. I don't know, I don't think the devs ever wanted it to be a Tarkov, but they wanted to kind of do a take on Tarkov style.
Right. That whole like extraction mode, right? So I'm gonna read verbatim some of their stuff here.
Okay.
Well, before I do that, I'll just, in case anyone is not up to speed, I'll just do a quick summary of DMZ. It is essentially Warzone, if you're familiar with Warzone, hopefully the BR. COD's BR. It's essentially that experience, except in an extraction base mode. So you spawn in, you can loot items to sell for gear, and you do quest, and you extract, and you level up, and that can get you better gear, etc. That's essentially the experience. But it's all in that sort of like Warzone setting where, they got all these vehicles, these, loot places. There's some other details. I don't really think they're that important. The whole COD armor plate, they got like, it's in a COD setting, so you have to keep that in mind. But okay, so I want to read some of the stuff here that they listed because I thought it was pretty interesting. All right, so we'll just read this paragraph here. The sandbox mode. Okay, let me read this one. DMZ is a dangerous, diverse, and deep open world experience where players can choose their level of intensity. Even in its earliest form, the DMZ experience is built for the most hardcore completionists, with faction missions, contracts, world events, stocking up the stash, helping out other squads, or causing chaos, breaking open locked areas, and much more. This living world has plenty to conquer on one day. So what caught my eye is like choose their level intensity, and this is very familiar in like Tarkov terms. Is like because you can do you can spawn a map and go to the hotspots, or you can do like a stash run, and like you can do a quest, you can build up your stash, you can farm rubles, you kind of got like that whole like choose your own adventure type of feeling, right?
Yep. And the thing is, like, if you've watched any of the event or any of the gameplay, it's like, I wonder where they're going with the actual stuff you're looting, because it's like it is console UI, so you have like slots, right? You don't have a backpack, you don't have drag and drop, you don't have like reorganization of like loot. It's just kind of like click click click. You have this little pop-up menu when you go to a container or a body, and it just, you select the things off the body that you're going to take, and it swaps it with your stuff automatically. So you do have that faster pace looting. And you gotta what I really found interesting in terms of like, there's two things that I found interesting about the mode was like the dynamic events, like when you do a quest or something. I can't remember what happened. But Landmark and Lupo, they got in a boat. I don't know how that activated. They got in a boat and shot down a helicopter or whatever.
I think it was like essentially a quest in raid that you could accept. I think that's how it worked.
Oh, so like the dude was there or something, like somebody accepted a certain area.
It was like, it was like a point of interest over here. You go to it. It's like, use this boat to deliver blah, blah, blah. And you hit, you do it. You get in the boat and the quest activates, essentially. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Like, I think they could be really dynamic like that, and in a lot of different ways. Another thing I found very interesting was the what's it called? The briefcase with the gun, the weapon skin or whatever. Like, if you get the weapon skin out or the briefcase out, you guys all, I don't know if everybody gets the weapon skin, but you actually unlock the gun blueprint to use permanently. That was pretty sick. I thought that was pretty cool. And then like that person, so whoever grabs the briefcase, there's like a briefcase marked on the map or something like that. And whoever grabs it, the whole team is like, or at least that person is highlighted for everybody. And like, not even just on the HUD, just like every, or like on the HUD and on the map.
Right.
You can mark where he is. So
kind of turns into like protect the VIP in the middle of a raid, essentially.
Yeah. And it's actually something you can really get out of it. And like loot, that loot actually means something. But what does the other loot mean? We have yet to find out. Like, what are these other loot items, and will people care about them?
I got some details here. So this is from the Warzone 2.0 launch update. Welcome DMZ. I think they posted this like either yesterday or a couple days ago. So let me see. Let me read this next paragraph here. Kind of a continuation from the previous one. The goal is to loot up and get out alive. It's about exploring an active world of AQ forces and enemy operators, completing missions, objectives, exfiltrating with loot, cash, valuables, and rewards to build out your inventory for the next infiltration. Set your own stakes, ultimately earn some high tier items to use across the rest of Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2. And we'll jump to those in a bit. Let me find there was another paragraph here that I wanted to. I can see your camera just like giggle blurring out now.
Well, okay, so I tried to manually do it. Don't worry about me. It's gonna be a blurry mess for a second. All right, we're gonna get. God damn it.
Okay. All right. So I'll just read this next. This is the stash and inventory. DMZ involves keeping a stash or inventory of weapons and other valuable items from the exclusion zone. Players will start with a small inventory of free contraband weapons. Contraband guns are only usable in DMZ, and if you lose them on the battlefield, they are gone forever. Weapons acquired from other players or enemies on the field are considered contraband after extracting with them. Call of Duty is about customizing weapons, so we want you to bring those creations into DMZ, whether it's a personal modification or a weapon blueprint. At first, you will have one insured weapon slot for any personal loadout weapon or weapon blueprint. Additional insured slots can be unlocked can be earned by leveling up with factions. For those looking for an alternative path to unlocking weapons versus traditional weapon XP through matches, should be excited to plan their infills. Acquiring a contraband weapon will unlock the base weapon in Gunsmith, usable multiplayer and battle royale. If you lose an insurance weapon, remember insurance takes time unless you're willing to pay the right price. Extracted cash and valuables speed up the cooldown on these slots. Your stash also contains certain items taken out of the exclusion zone, which can be put to your loadout and backpack for the next infiltration and give you access to special locations. If your backpack fills up during a match, operators can visit one of 6 dead drop locations to stash items for extraction in a later match. Okay, so there's a lot going on there. So let me break down a couple of things quickly for those that don't know. Insured weapon slot is essentially you can use that to make your personal gun, if you will, and that you can use from the ecosystem, if you will, of Modern Warfare 2, and all the stuff you've unlocked, you can build a gun there. So if you played like the multiplayer and you grinded out all the stuff, you can use that in there. If you played Warzone, you grind out all the stuff, you can use that in there. That's kind of the idea, right? And then you use that, it gets you a quote unquote free gun for the DMZ extraction mode. You go in, you die with it, it goes on cooldown. If you want to like refresh it, you can spend some money to refresh it, or you can wait till it comes back on cooldown. The contraband weapons are essentially like pre-configured guns that whatever you loot in there and you take out, they'll be marked as contraband. So you can't like modify them. They're just like fixed, or whatever you use or buy. And because they have like, you can buy stuff in the raid. This is what it looks like right now. So that's the difference between those two things. And finally, there was one other thing I wanted to mention. I guess that's it, but that's, I guess, well, that's kind of the idea, is how I see I kind of understand what they're doing with this, right? They're having, everything's like one big connected experience. You know what I mean? So like you like, they want to broaden their game to more people. That's the thing, right? So
yeah,
right now you have,
it's kind of, now that you brought up the drop, sorry, the drop, like the shops, yeah. Sorry, the shop that you can, I didn't know you can put items into and like send it back to stash. Like, so in that case, does it convert it to money? Because I saw them selling stuff so that they could buy. I thought at one point you were just like collecting these random knickknacks to sell and then buy a gun or buy a backpack or whatever. So it sounds like maybe you can send stuff back to a stash that's not just contraband guns, because when like Lupo showed the menu system, right, it was just all contraband guns. It's like that, right, system's very reminiscent of Hunt Showdown, which Hunt, right, Showdown has the contraband guns, and yeah, you can use them, but you can't, you can only keep like one of each type, and it's limited to how many you take. And I think DMZ had like a 20 slots at first, so you could have 20 contraband guns. But what's that other loot look like, and how are we going to store those? But what it really does sound like is they're trying to keep you in those matches longer with those dead drops, that you can, continue it instead of going back to your stash and like, doing stuff in your stash. You're just dropping the items in those dead drops and continuing on to the next, mission or whatever you have to do. So that actually does sound good, like a good experience in terms of gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like, what do you do with the actual stuff that's taking it out back to your stash? I think I'm assuming you have an option. I don't know, because it's a beta. They're putting it out as a beta, so they're like gonna like make changes actively going forward. But anyways, I think you can either convert it to EXP, or you can convert it to money, and maybe EXP money are the same thing, but to use to for that insurance weapon slot, if you will.
Right.
So like
and to cool it down or whatever.
yeah, so you instead you use it to EXP to level up your Call of Duty character to buy like cosmetics or whatever. Like I haven't played the newer quads in like forever, so I don't know anything about this stuff.
Yeah.
But I see what
Same.
they're going for is like, you know, you have like everything's interlinked. Like it's just like Tarkov and Arena. You know, like the two are linked.
Right.
This is kind of the same thing as like you play the multiplayer, you level up your stuff, you can use that stuff in different modes like Battle Royale or DMZ. Same thing with like, you know, you
Right.
play the DMZ, you level it up. And the idea, this is what I mean when I said earlier, is like they're trying to like broaden their game to a wider audience. It's like now, it's like me that I like Tarkov and that game mode, like this kind of appeals to me. So I play it. If I like it, I'm already in the COD ecosystem. You know, it's like
Right.
I might as well try the battle royale. I might as well try the multiplayer. Like it's exactly what I think Fortnite did back in the day. Was like they had this little niche thing going on. It was like a PvE only mode,
Right.
and then they did the BR, and then that blew up, and then they added like creative mode. Like they added all this stuff, and it's like becomes its own global ecosystem that you're like invested in. So I see what COD's doing here. It's like it's not that they're making a Tarkov clone. This is DMZ. It's really just an expansion of their ecosystem, I guess. I hate saying that word over and over because it's like a freaking buzzword. Like, yes,
Yeah.
we have an ecosystem in our video game. Please, you know, get
Yeah.
involved. But
Yeah.
I see what
it's
they're
like
doing.
It's like another version of Warzone in my eyes. It's not like exactly it's a standalone extraction based shooter. It's almost just like another version of Warzone. I mean, at base value of what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
Sure.
We'll see what they could, and the thing is with these big devs, they can take things and change it up pretty fast and make adjustments rather than 6-month wipe cycles, you know? So if they do it right, they can kind of balance this game a little bit, how people are feeling, but it should be around for a couple years, right? Like this COD is supposed to be supported for several years. So
probably the next 2 years, I would imagine.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, but
yeah, it should be fun. I'm going to try it. It's free. Everybody should try it since it's free.
Yeah, we'll try it. I mean, if like for me at the bare minimum, it'll be something to play until Tarkov updates. That's like the bare minimum. Well, not necessarily. I think the bare minimum is like I waste 30 minutes of my time, but you know, it's just like
yeah. Right.
I do that every day, so you know what I mean?
Right. Just as long as you know you're not wasting download. Like if you have unlimited download at your house, you know, like that you're not wasting anything, just time. You know, if you're capped though, maybe you don't waste it.
Freaking 200 gigabyte download.
I had one internet service provider that capped me at a terabyte, and I started to hit that terabyte. I was like, then I had to start thinking about what games I downloaded. I was like, dude, this is terrible. This is a terrible life. Yeah, not anymore. But
sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go for it.
I'm gonna read one more paragraph here. Start. Okay, like Warzone 2.0, players can expect logical looting. Okay, this is like where this basically just says, you know, med spawn and medical cabinets, blah blah blah. Police station spawn tactical gear, blah blah. Let me just see. Okay. Won't have a circle that collapses, but players will need to monitor radiation as well as occasional sandstorm. We don't yet know what is causing this deadly energy and what operators may get from finding its source. So kind of like setting up a lore, you know, the whole lore event stuff. Because I know Warzone did like they've done a couple different events. I can't keep track of it, but the one that like caught Giga's eye at one point that we talked about was like they had like some nuclear event with like radiation that was like kind of interesting, and they did like this big, you know, teaser and reveal. Got a lot of like hype and traction, you know, whatever. But
I didn't see any of that.
Yeah, it's that whole, again, it's, using Fortnite as an example, the freaking like end of the world Fortnite, where like there was like some black hole that happened in the game, and the game was just like down for a whole like 24 hours. That.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's like
it's exciting for the people, events. Like it goes back to the events, like the ever changing map and ever changing like experience. That's what keeps people hooked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't know about that radiation thing. I knew there was a source of radiation on the map that expanded and kind of forced players to move at a certain pace, but I didn't know you can go into it and loot something. That's pretty cool.
That's my understanding.
So if you're going in fat geared, juicy boy, and you want to do some like crazy stuff, you can probably go into there if you have certain equipment or certain gas masks and stuff like that. That'd be cool.
This could easily change, but my understanding is there's a timer. Once the timer reaches 0, the radiation zone starts expanding. So it's like the inverse of the VR ring. And you can go in there and loot and you take damage, but I think you can like mitigate that somehow. And it's, at that starting point, supposedly there's like, some of the more high tier loot there. So there's a little bit of like incentive plus risk reward, which is interesting. But the other thing I wanted to mention was this other paragraph. There's no definite objective or path to victory here in DMZ. You're responsible for mapping your own success in this mode, with plenty of rewards for your efforts. Double XP tokens, calling cards, weapon charms, other cosmetics. And finally, the ultimate reward, the MB-13B assault rifle. This functional weapon is a part of the Buren Ops platform, along with the new BAS-P SMG. Can all be yours to use across Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.0 modes. So that whole like ecosystem thing is like you you grind this one thing, so then you can use this other thing to grind the other stuff in the other mode.
Wait, is that gun the reward for like doing all the DMZ stuff? That's what it sounds like. You. What?
Yeah. So
that's what I was wondering. Like, what is the big prize of doing this DMZ stuff? That's like Tarkov is motivated by gaining fear. Fear motivation. But no, like being little loot goblins and making money and getting your certain milestones along the way. That's always the thing that worries me about these distraction shooters that coming out. Like
there's a bit of that in this. There's a bit of that, not as much.
Right.
I mean, it's all up in the air, honestly, because we'll just have to wait and see. And they could easily tweak it. Yeah. But it sounds to me like there's a bit of that, but your if you're not very successful, then you're going to be more incentivized to grind better kits. If you are very successful, you're going to be incentivized to grind like all the systems out in the game. That affects your overall your overall Call of Duty character, I guess is a way to speak. Like the cosmetics, this B-13 assault rifle that you can use in the DMZ mode, but you could also use it in multiplayer, use it in Warzone.
It's probably gonna be OP.
No, it's probably gonna be complete utter garbage. It's gonna be like the starter SMG is like the busted one.
God. Another thing I want to bring up is like it seems like it's only group play. I don't think they're solo.
So there was in this article, there was something mentioned here. I don't know if I can find it verbatim, but they did say like essentially you can go in. There's 2 different queues. There's solo duo, and then there's squad.
Oh, interesting. Huh. And then is it 100 players? Is that right?
That I don't know.
Okay, I thought there was 100 players.
64 is a number I remember hearing.
Oh, that's right. It's 64, and the event only had 32.
Yeah.
So that's why the PvP was pretty lightweight.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like if you watch Lupo, he pretty much just fought AI the whole time. I think they killed like one or two squads that I watched. So,
yeah.
I think that was maybe an inaccurate representation of how the PvP will actually be. It's probably going to be like at least double that.
For sure.
So, yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious how, like, what kind of gameplay or like what kind of gameplay styles you can have, like how much versatility. Because like in Tarkov, you have the rats, you have the chads, you have the new players that are just like scared to move, and in this, it's going to be like you have to shoot this AI. Like there's a ton of AI, it seems like, and you're going to have to get out there and fight. I wonder just how fast. I don't know. We'll see. See you in 3 days, right?
Yeah, something like that. I can't. Either way, dude.
I think November 16th.
Oh yeah, is it really 3 days? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Wednesday.
I think so.
I mean, I'm gonna try it, dude. I'm gonna try it.
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know. Part of me is just like, I don't know, dude. I just don't understand why people are like, I know okay, this is a joke, and I'll say it again. I swear some of the comments in my head, they read like they were mad at Call of Duty. Like the comment would say something like, this game isn't gonna kill Tarkov, and it's like, in my head I would read it like,
it to?
Yeah, that's how I like read it in my head. I was like, this game isn't gonna kill Tarkov. No, you know what I mean?
I think it goes back to the betterment of the genre. Like most people just want to see these games grow and have more choices rather than be stuck in Tarkov's 6-month life cycle of you know how it is. I think most people just want more options for this type of play style.
I think so, yeah. I don't, and
I think you're right though. The whole thing was like, people were like, "It's gonna kill Tarkov," and then they're like, after they're like, "Oh shit, it's not gonna kill Tarkov." It's like it's very weird. It's a weird vibe from those people.
Yeah, I just like I don't know. I mean, like to me, I'm an equal opportunity. Gamer, you know what I mean? I'm kind of like past the days of being a loyalist to my gaming studio, So
screw that.
I'm definitely like, if it's fun, I'll fucking play it. It's just like
if they released right now a game that was exactly like Tarkov and fixed all the things that Tarkov didn't do, we would play that game because it would be better.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for the right, we're waiting for those games to release, and they will.
And
there's going to be competition.
I just really don't see this game, stealing people from Tarkov. You know what I mean? Like, Tarkov would donate people to this. You know what I mean? This game isn't going to steal it. The Tarkov's going to donate people. So, because it's just like, it's how it looks. And from what I've read, it just sounds like it's two different experiences, like similar experiences, but once you get down to the details, they're very different. Right.
Yeah.
And Tarkov's got a lot of details.
Yeah. This is Tarkov for COD players. Let's be real.
Yeah. Pretty well much.
And it's going to be a cool version of the game for them. Like, I think. I don't know. It may be too slow for those players. Like,
but this was the other interesting thing is I looked around at some other people that were not Tarkov people that were like talking about the event, and they did not care at all about DMZ.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say.
They were way more into the Warzone stuff, right?
Right. I didn't watch any of that, but yeah, that's a good point because it's. So as a Tarkov player, we see that and it looks like it's not, there's not depth to it. It doesn't seem like it has a lot of life to it in terms of our play style. And then the COD play style is super fast paced, Warzone, go, 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 get out of the map, win. That's going to look slow as hell to them. Like that's going to be like, ew, shooting AI, ew, looting things. I don't want to do that. That's the least of what I want to do. So yeah, it's, who they making it for, And
I think they're making it. They're trying to take that pool of players, jumping back to my buddy that played 20 hours and was like, this game is too hard for me.
Yeah.
This game might be more for him because it doesn't have all those details. Like my poor guy, and poor buddy, dude, he something happened and we took it forever to figure out, but he was having a hard time with the audio. And we were just like, bro, that's just Tarkov, man. Like we just gotta accept that. He's like, he was just like, guys, how are you hearing this stuff? I'm like, dude, you'll learn it eventually. And then one day we found out that he had mono audio checked on his system setting.
Okay. I was gonna say I actually was gonna say mono audio at first. I can't believe it actually was. Dude, poor dude. Yeah. So every game probably sounded like shit to him.
Yeah, but like some games are more important than the others. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like
Oh my God.
So he had it extra rough for a while, right? But even after that, he still just was like, he just wasn't having fun at the end of the day. It's just what it comes down to. And it's like, so when does the fun happen? And that's the fun part. You don't.
The suffering is the fun part. Yeah, you gotta love games that are punishing and are really difficult. You know, like kind of like the Dark Souls category, like or Daisy. You die and lose it all. It's like you gotta enjoy the hurt, the pain, because that's what Tarkov is.
Yeah.
So, and then you kind of learn. You kind of learn to be like that, and that's the fun part. Is like the rewarding part of the game is finally getting to the point where you can buy, you can get to the flea and buy this stuff, or you can finally, you grinded out the ammo type and you get to use this. And it's like, sometimes I struggle with, like at a certain point before I created videos for Tarkov, it was like, wait, why am I grinding this stuff? Like, why am I grinding for Kappa? It's just a bigger container. And I already have a gamma, right. It's like, why am I grinding for more stash space so I could store more stuff for like, yeah, you got to have fun. The experience has to be the fun part, and when people are done with the quests, there is nothing really else to drive for with these wipes. So yeah, I think Tarkov also has some things to figure out with life cycles and how to keep people engaged throughout the wipe. So yeah, all these games got to figure out something.
I think to like reiterate what you just said, there is you got to have the highs and lows to really get that experience. Like once you experience the pain and suffering, when you finally do like get that sweet release, when you get that reward, dude, and you extract, it's like you feel on cloud nine. It's like such just like polar opposites, and I think that's what really, like, once you get there enough times, that's when you really, like, it clicks. It's like, okay, I see the appeal of this game now. It's like the first 20 hours were absolutely miserable, but by hour 21 it finally clicked. You know what I mean? And we were trying to get him to that point. So
yeah,
I just
okay, so in my opinion, the thing that really hooked me, I think, was the fact that you can come up from nothing. Like you could take a Mosin in and kill somebody that's level 50 with full kit, full everything, kill them, and you're like, oh my God, what are all these items? What are these guns? What is this gear? And it's like so exciting. Like that's still exciting if you're, like even a veteran player and you find somebody with a ton of gear and you have nothing. Like no game has done that since. Like even like what's the cycle? Like you can't even do that in the cycle because the armor was so strong. Like you can't come up in that game. You can't kill somebody who's super geared out of their mind.
I didn't like the cycle for that reason. I played it recently, and once I was like, because a buddy of mine is like really into it, and so I was trying to film, and then I was following some of the updates they did, and I saw a breakdown on how they do their armor and damage system, and basically, when you have a greater, let's say an S tier gun versus a F tier armor, you get bonus damage, and that configuration.
Wait, when you have a crap gun against really good armor?
No, when you have
opposite.
Oh. When you have a good gun versus bad armor, you get more damage.
What?
Right. And if you have good armor and they have a crap gun, you receive less damage. So it's like it compounds, right? So like if I'm just to use their terminology, if I got like purple armor and a purple helmet and a purple gun versus this newbie that's got white armor, white gun, like he's doing less damage to me, like mathematically speaking, and I'm doing more damage to him. So it's like,
really, you're positive about that? Because I never heard of that. It's really dumb. Like you're already at a disadvantage, like having white armor and going in and trying to any kind of Chad you run into, you're gonna lose that fight. Like 100%.
It makes that's the thing, right? It makes logical sense that I'm doing less damage to the Chad.
Yeah.
Because he has purple armor. But it's like, why is he getting bonus damage for having a purple gun? That's the part that I really didn't like. And playing
that's wacky.
Playing the PvP, I could feel it where it's like, if you're outgeared, it's like you're like, it feels like it's compounding on disadvantage. And I guess you could argue that the come up's really sweet, but it's just like, it's really hard to pull that off. Like they have to be potato, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I didn't like that. And it felt more like it was that option of play wasn't viable. It was very difficult. It was much more viable to grind the systems out to then become the Giga Chad, and then you stomp everyone. That's kind of what it felt like to me. And I didn't really.
And that's the problem I had with it too. It was like, you can't ever win that fight no matter what if they have the better gear. Like you're just not going to do it. They're going to have more meds. They're going to have more backpack space. They're going to have stronger armor, and your little crap gun. You could put, I at one point I put like a full mag of whatever the AK was in the dude, and he wasn't dead. And I was like, wait, this is how this game plays when people out level you. And in Tarkov, you can go in your first freaking raid with a pistol and one tap a Chad, and get all their stuff. I think that's one of the big things that make Tarkov addicting, is like finding all that loot from that dude and getting out with it,
Yeah.
So,
and that's kind of the question, tying it back to DMZ for me, is the game gonna have enough of that highs and lows for me, or is it gonna be too like compressed down? Because Tarkov's kind of like probably the more extreme version, right? Really highs. I just lost 1 million ruble kit to a sniper scav, okay, well, that sucks. I'll install now. Versus like, I just kill a Chad with a PM pistol, it's just like really extreme, and then
absolutely
is DMZ gonna be like too watered down?
I think it's gonna be dead center, dude.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too, right? It's just gonna be like, oh, I killed another guy, I looted some more stuff, I progressed a little further. That's kind of my vibes I'm getting, but we'll see.
Yeah, because even with the BR, like even with Warzone, you have that high at the end, like a real big rush to win the mat, win the round or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know. DMC seems like it's kind of just gonna be an experience. Like it'll be fun. But I don't think it's gonna be extreme on either end of that.
Yeah,
we'll see. I think maybe the briefcase thing that I was talking about earlier, where if you get out with that briefcase, you're marked on the map. True. You're getting chased by all these teams. They're driving in cars and chasing you, and you're trying to get to an extraction. That could be fun, and you actually get a real blueprint from it that you can keep using. Like that's pretty cool.
That's a good point. Yeah.
We'll see. It's regardless. At the end of the day, it's good for the genre that another AAA game is trying to do an extraction based shooter. That means it's a good, it's a good thing for the genre.
Yeah.
For future companies to take on these endeavors of some sort of extraction mode or whatever.
for sure. Well, dude, yeah, Abney, dude, thanks so much for filling in today, man. I appreciate you waking up at the crack of dawn.
No. 10 o'clock. I should be up by 9:30 usually anyway. I was just giving you a hard time. Yeah, man. It is a pleasure as always. This was I guess my second time on the show, and it's good to be back. Shame GigaBeef wasn't here, but
yeah.
Hopefully I see him soon.
Yep. Send thoughts and prayers out to GigaBeef. Last I heard, I think there were some minor complications with the newborn, but I've heard good news that everything's a lot better now. But again, we send thoughts and prayers to him, so should be hearing back from him soon. For anyone that's, I'm sure he's updated Discord and stuff and socials, but anywho, we miss him. And yeah, thanks again for coming. I really want to talk to you about YouTube stuff with you today. I didn't even get a chance to do that, honestly, but for next time, maybe.
Yeah, for next time, of course.
Where can people find you at, though?
YouTube pretty much is the best one. You know, let's just stick with YouTube for now.
YouTube for now.
Yeah, I might do some multi-streams on Twitch, but focusing on YouTube, of course. So, yeah, thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it. And catch you next time.
All right. We'll wrap it up there, guys. Take it easy.
All right. See you guys. Thank you.